I didn't have much to show for my new money-making efforts, and so maybe she lost faith in me, watching me fail so many times over and over. I probably overpromised in my attempts to impress her with my fabricated bright future, and becoming successful was taking a lot longer than I expected. I remember telling her when we first got married, honey, I'm going to make us rich. I'm going to buy us a mansion in Beverly Hills, and you're going to retire early and we'll travel the world first class. Vincent, you've got to be more realistic, she'd say. What are you talking about? I don't want to be realistic. I want to be rich. I want to be able to give you the best, I'd emphatically retort. My rants of grandeur would get her hopes up temporarily, but over time, as I had nothing to show for my entrepreneurial efforts, she became emotionally callous to my verbal aspirations. I'll believe it when I see it, she'd say. Her little jabs at my dreams would chip away at my confidence, and each little jab took away a piece of my manhood. They would be constant little reminders that I had not become the man I truly wanted to be. And this, perhaps, is every man's greatest fear. The fear that we might find out who we really are, and that who we really are is not who we want to be. Sure, it was devastating every time one of my business opportunities didn't pan out, but somehow I had the ability to get back up after I'd gotten knocked down and take another big swing, always swinging for the fences. I wanted to hit the big time. I wanted to hit home runs, even if that meant striking out on occasion. But the reality was, I wasn't just striking out on occasion. All I was doing was striking out. And after getting knocked down so many times, she just couldn't seem to get back up with the same vigor that I was able to. Vincent, I've given this a lot of thought over the last few weeks, and I've made up my mind, so please don't try to talk me out of it. Vincent, I don't want to be married to you anymore. What? What do you mean? Look, Vincent, I can't do this anymore. I can't live like this. I'm tired of worrying about making next month's rent. I'm tired of just barely getting by every month. I can't take it. You're always telling me... No, wait a minute, I argumentatively snapped. I thought we were in this together. I thought we talked about this. Right? No one gets rich overnight. Okay? Stuff like this takes time. And I've got this deal I'm working on, and it's really coming together. I'm really close to... Now, that's just it, Vincent. You've always got some deal you're working on, and it's always some pie in the sky, get-rich-quick scheme. And I'm just... What do you want me to do? Quit? And give up on my dream and go back to my crappy old job? No, I can't do that. All right? I won't do that. I will never do that. Vincent, it's over. No, don't say that. Vincent, stop. I've already made up my mind, and it's not over. We can make it work. I desperately yelled at the top of my lungs. Please, I'll do anything you want. I scrambled for the right words. I could feel each drop of warm sweat seeping out of my pores. My heart was pounding through my chest, and without consciously thinking through it, I blurted out my last plea in desperation. Okay, I'll quit my business. I couldn't believe those words left my lips. There was a deafening silence that overcame the room with my exclamation of surrender. It was as if all sound had been immediately sucked into a giant vacuum and the world stopped spinning on its axis. I slowly stood up in a painfully uncomfortable posture, hands clasped tightly behind my neck, with every ounce of effort trying not to unravel in front of her. And in a soft, defeated voice, I repeated those words that absolutely killed me to say. I'll quit my business. She just stared across the room, looking right past me as if I didn't exist. Please, just give me one more, Vincent. It's over, she said, interrupting me in a faint, distracted whisper of a voice. I interjected. Please, just give me one more chance. Oh, Vincent, she exclaimed with finality. As her gaze passed me and turned into a deep stare into my soul, her eyes looked at me with pity. And as a man, there's nothing worse to be looked upon with pity, especially by a woman. It's emasculating. I would have much preferred to be yelled at, because in a strange way, being yelled at is far easier on the heart and the ego. At least in a yelling match, you can yell back, defending yourself. But when a woman looks at you with pity, well, as she said, it's over. It had been 7 months since she left. All I know is I woke up every day feeling like a failure. So there I was, 26 years old, divorced, and all alone. This was not how I thought my life was going to turn out. So what the heck happened to my life? My life had become pitiful and depressing. I stopped by my apartment to shower before heading off to Madre's, which I called my satellite office, and to work on designing my new sales brochure. As I continued to work away on my computer, a strange feeling came over me. As I looked up, the door swung open. In walked a tall, distinguished gentleman who looked like a cross between James Bond and Bruce Wayne. He wore an exquisitely tailored charcoal gray suit, clearly custom-made, and a crisp white Italian dress shirt with a hand-stitched collar. His hair was slicked back, like Andy Garcia's. The gentleman sat down at the table next to me. I didn't tell him any details about my dismal business. At that time, I wasn't even making enough money to pay my bills. In fact, I was living off credit card cash advances, doing balance transfers every time a credit card company came out with a new promotional interest rate. I was eating oatmeal and top ramen noodles for dinner every night because, well, that's all I could afford. I was broke. I told him that I had been recently divorced and that I was just now getting back on my feet, starting my life over. For whatever reason, he seemed genuinely interested and compassionate towards me about my story. He asked me very detailed questions about my life. He asked me questions about my business venture and why I thought I wasn't as successful as I had hoped. I didn't even tell him that my business was struggling, but by the lack of confidence I exuded, I guess you could tell. And we talked for a good 20 minutes. He finally said, "Hey, listen, I've got to run. It was great meeting you, but before I go, I've got a proposition for you." Huh? I stuttered. "What's your name, kid?" Vincent. "Vincent, you're a mess, and I'm going to help you." I had read a self-help book recently that talked about the value of having a mentor, someone that you could emulate, someone that was willing to teach you how to be successful. And I thought to myself, maybe this is my chance. And then he said 7 words that changed my life forever. "Meet me here tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock a.m.